The All Smiling Faces podcast is now sponsored by TyreSpot, the Northeast's leading tyre supplier with branches across the region. TyreSpot don't just do tyres, they cover everything from servicing to wheel alignment. They can handle every aspect of your car's maintenance. For more information, visit tyrespot.co.uk. Enjoy the episode. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Always Smiling Faces podcast on the GallowgateShots YouTube channel. It is myself, your host Chris, joined by Bestie, Decker and Mark. There's been no Newcastle United action at the weekend, no men's Newcastle United action. So we're leaving it up to everybody watching us live.
We've got nothing to talk about, you know.
Even the lasses drew notes each as well. There's like
There's absolutely nothing. It's been so I think it was 10 days we've had to prepare for the Crystal Palace game coming up. It's a long time, so why don't we just start with that? We'll start by the upcoming fixture, the Palace. That
it seems as good a
the
place
only
as
thing
anything
to
else.
talk
Like,
about.
I've got a question before we did.
Okay,
Did you forget your name at the start of this podcast?
that's it, Chris, didn't it?
You seemed to stumble over who you were for a moment.
Well, do you want to know this? This is a bit of it. You won't understand this, but you might, Mark, because you host in my absence. You've got to check the audio when you first go live, and it's really confusing because there's a slight delay. So when you start talking, you're hearing yourself with the headphones.
Oh, yeah.
And I do get confused at the very start, yeah. But I've got to make sure that the audio is working.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jack, are you with her?
I'm just checking the team news for Palace. No, I was checking the team news for Palace because
Watching
I'm just
Arsenal
checking the
fans
Arsenal
TV.
scores. No, I think it's a really tough game on Wednesday. So I was just seeing if there was any
There's
potential suspensions or injuries for them. I was just having a quick look there.
So
I wasn't being rude. I was researching.
Let's
While
stick
we're
with-
live. For once, he's actually doing something
On the fly.
associated with what we're about to talk about.
Let's stick with you, Digger. So Palace coming up on Wednesday night. I don't actually think this one's on TV either. I
No, it's
think
not.
that they've picked
Is it not?
the Liverpool game. I'm sure Liverpool games.
I'm sure I will find it.
Well,
somewhere.
I'm not
we
reminded to be
will
on
find
UK official TV.
Yeah, we'll find it somewhere. But yes, Palace coming up. Palace, strange team, Digger, but we are playing them just after they get a decent 5-2 result against West Ham.
Well, I think the game that really shocked me was the Liverpool game away.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
played Liverpool away, and bearing in mind, you could say, I'm not saying Palace obviously were down there, but Liverpool had it all to play for. Klopp's farewell season, in the title race, and they rocked up and spoiled the party, and they played really well. And then obviously they've backed that up against West Ham. And I suppose you could say West Ham are finding it tough a little bit at the minute, but still, they absolutely whacked them. So it's going to be a really tough game. What record down there is dreadful, to be fair. I don't look at that too much in terms of when people go, you haven't won there in 10 years. It's a totally different team. It's a totally different manager. So I don't quite buy into that as much, but my record has been poor. But I just think it's going to be, and I think it's arguably, in some ways, maybe the toughest game to go. I think in some ways, I know we've still got Man United to go, but I don't.
Well, in the stretch left.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I feel like this could be the toughest one. I was talking to some people today, and they were saying, but no, Palace now haven't got much to play for. But I sometimes feel if the pressure's off them, they may play even better because there's no pressure. Does that make sense?
It kind of goes one or two ways, doesn't it? Because people say at the end of the season the flip flops are on. But how many times do you see your team get relegated? Obviously, Palace are pretty much safe now. How many times do you see a team go down and then start playing? Like when we beat Tottenham 5-1 that time.
Yeah.
Mitigating circumstances there around Rafa and all that. But yeah, it's up there it is. Yeah, it's a funny old Palace because they are in really good form. We're in really good form.
Yeah.
Palace they've had a couple of really good results. And that
New manager's done a great job, but since he's went in there,
Watson,
the style of play is different.
yeah. He's got Elise, Eze, and I've got Mateta playing really.
Got some talented players.
The front three are dangerous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
they are. Scored some goals as well, mind.
So yeah, I'm going into it with a slightly different outlook because
That's not like you, Mark.
these teams that no, but these
He's
teams
going to agree with us.
that generally like to have a go and have an attack, they're the teams that we seem to do all right. Again, when you think of say Villa away, they're playing a very similar way, hitting you with pace, coming to attack you. But that's where we can exploit it with our forward line going the other way. We did it, just the other weekend. When
I certainly agree. I honestly get what you're saying. What I would say in maybe defensive, what I'm trying to say maybe is I don't think Palace play with an awfully high line as much as what the likes of Spurs and Villa do. I get what you're saying about
Still conceded 2 goals.
attacking and fast players, etc., etc. But I just think their overall setup as a team is slightly different. But I suppose there's something in what you're saying. They've got dangerous players, but I suppose you go back to the Spurs game, you look at that team sheet and go, Christ, they've got some dangerous players.
Yeah.
And we absolutely nullified them. So, you know,
And they played at the Liverpool game last week. They played against West Ham yesterday, and they're playing again Wednesday night. Whereas we've had that.
It's only really a 2-day break, really, that they've had, isn't it?
I wanted to ask you this question actually because I agree with that. You know, it's 2 days rest. Now, if they got beat 5-2, I think it's bad because it's 2 days. But when you're rolling, you know, we beat Spurs 4-0. We wanted to game them on, man. We wanted, you know what I mean? You just
the momentum.
That momentum's key, and I think they're going into it after that great win. They might be coming out bouncing, like. But of course, maybe they might tire because we have had 10 days rest, if you like, in a sense. So.
10 days prep as well, which is something that when we had that run of games, that 10 in December, 11 in December, the lads weren't really training. They weren't having the full week to kind of be as meticulous as Howe likes to be. Whereas this time around, he's known from Tottenham, full time against Tottenham, to Palace, 10 days to prepare. He can kind of, and get the players really, really well drilled and prepared for it. And I think it's a funny one because I don't know how it's going to go. On one hand, I think Palace are in good form. I mean, they put 5 past West Ham, and West Ham are having a bit of a queer time, but they're still 8th, 9th. They were kind of in the hunt for the Europa League spot until a week or two ago.
They played Bayern Leverkusen in the Europa League.
Yeah,
a few days before that.
Yeah, that's right.
It took them all the way, nearly all the way, and he beat them. You know what I mean? So it took them. I think it was 88 minutes when Leverkusen scored. It could have been West Ham that broke their record of undefeated. Of being undefeated.
Both legs as well. The first leg, though, it was really late on. That Leverkusen got the 2 goals.
That might have actually took some steam out of West Ham. In fairness, because it was midweek in that. But still,
kind of their season, especially with the results in Europe going the way that when last week meeting 5th place in the Premier League isn't going to be Champions League now, or it's really, really unlikely. Villa have got to win the Conference League, and the German teams can't have more than a win and a draw between them for the rest of it. For us to finish 4th, for us to get that 5th spot.
It's probably the first time in a while to go off subject for a second. Like in terms of Europe, how we're at the final stages and there's not an English club. Well, other than Villa, of course.
Villa, yeah.
But normally there'd always be an English team.
There's normally one in around there.
All English finals, haven't we, a few times over the past.
Last round killed with, didn't it? It did.
For the coefficient thing.
We as in the English teams.
Yeah, especially 2 German teams beating 2 English teams, like Bayern via Arsenal and Leverkusen, West Ham. That's kind of because it's a 6-pointer thing, isn't it? You know, they get the points and we kind of get denied.
Man City, Real Madrid, isn't it?
Yeah, similar. So yeah, it's kind of it's made the fact that I was saying a few weeks ago how I think we could have caught Tottenham or Villa. Villa obviously had a good result since. It wouldn't really make much of a difference now. I mean, between 5th and 6th, that is obviously you'd rather finish as high as you can because there's no guarantee we'll finish 6th either. But it's been a bit of a. I think that could have really kind of taken the wind out of West Ham sails in both directions because they're out of it this season and the likelihood of being in next season as well. Because 8th spot probably doesn't do it now. You're looking at finishing 6th or 7th, well, 5th, 6th or 7th to get in, and that's at a minute. Newcastle, Man U, Chelsea have got games in hand. Chelsea could theoretically get the same amount of points as us, win their games in hand.
Yeah.
There's a goal difference isn't as good. Obviously, beat Everton 6-0 last Monday, so that'll help them. But there's still a lot to play for, and I think West Ham have kind of just been the victims of it this week.
One of the things going into the game, though, Mark, is we may have a couple of players back. Callum Wilson, back on the grass, as they like to say.
Yeah, I mean, they've said that, but I don't know. Bench at best, you'd expect. It's nice to have them coming back through, but I still think it's just going to be too early given the stage that.
So having said that, Callum Wilson is back training. Who's going to get injured, Mark?
Well, we've already lost one this week, haven't we? Miley's now been.
I thought he was already injured.
That was weeks ago.
He's
that
been
man.
told to not play for the rest of the season and rest his back. So it's like you're essentially
another broken back.
Not a bad back swing.
Yeah.
I think. Listen, regardless of Wilson, it's still great for him to be getting back fit, right? I don't want anyone not to be injured, so that's fine. But Isak's form, I mean, speaks for itself, and if he's fit, he plays as simple as that.
Yeah.
But having Wilson on the bench always gives you that option if needed. So,
and I've got a feeling Wilson might be one of the ones who goes this summer. So it'd be. I'd like to see him play again. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he's just back in training now, you'd imagine that. Did he get 12 weeks? Was that what they said when he got injured?
Sorry?
Wilson.
I thought it was, 10 to 12, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, it was going to be touch and go towards the end of the season, so he's probably just slightly ahead of schedule.
He's got 2 games this week, haven't we? Obviously, Palace.
Just quite ironic given our season.
Aye.
Yeah.
It just means, like you say, it means that someone else is Isak's due to have his foot fall off or something like that.
Just run it off, best.
Just
Run it off.
like
It's why do you think Callum Wilson's going to be the one that's going to be making way?
Was it something I read or something I read or something that I listened to? It was something I listened to, but I don't know what it was.
He's a saleable asset. Isn't
It was Craig Hope talking about it, and he was saying that you know how there's been talk of Isak, Bruno, Botman being the saleable assets that would kind of open the transfer window up for it. And obviously there's been the talk of Arsenal looking at Bruno's
Ben Jacobs reported that.
Bloody Bruno, Isak, they're both joining Arsenal every bloody other day at the minute.
That could be over the moon. But
Well, I think the Bruno one does actually have some. I think they are definitely in for him.
we'll be looking at him.
But that doesn't mean he's going to go.
But it was
at all.
Arsenal,
But I definitely think they're in for
PSG, and Man City that the Ben Jacobs.
I'm in for Rob bloody Remarco, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen.
For who?
No, Robbie, not Robbie.
Robson Green. I'm in for Robson Green, but it doesn't mean I'm going fishing.
No, but you're not.
I'm not going for a swim in a
Well, I
car.
am.
I
am, but it's not going to happen.
But I was listening to Craig Hope talking about it, and he said that rather than being necessarily Isak, Bruno, and Botman that are looking at, he said there's like a layer of players beneath those three. That if you sell like a Miggy, a Wilson, maybe a Murphy, perhaps Longstaff, Miley, not all of them, but some of them, you could still get an equivalent amount. You could probably still get 60, 70, 80 million from selling
More.
a few of those. Yeah. And then it kind of thins out the squad a bit. I mean, we do need a bit of a deeper squad, really. But it also opens up that much more. So it's a way of doing it that way as well. Yeah. But again, like we say, reading Ben Jacobs saying tonight, apparently Man City, PSG, and Arsenal sniffing.
It's a funny one because if I be honest, if I just read it on the surface, I'd be like, I have to say, when it was from Ben Jacobs, I thought, oh god, there probably is something in this, because I just trusted what because I do actually think he's
quite reliable.
Yeah, he's reliable.
We've had Ben Jacobs on the podcast a few times, to be fair.
Yeah, we'll have him.
You know what it is? He used to get loads of crap, but he's always came across quite well when we've had him on.
It was takeover stuff, wasn't it? And
it was
because he was employed by BN?
BN, it was.
And he was meant to be a Qatari shill and all that carry on, like. But something that I found weird was the Bruno release clause is it's more than 100 million, but apparently, if a Champions League club comes in, this is going by. This isn't me, kind of. It's what I've read today. Comes in. We would say
must be true, then.
Above 80 million would kind of entertain it. What non-Champions League club's going to have 100 million? So anyone that meets a release clause is going to be a Champions League club, you'd imagine, right?
Well, Chelsea.
Do you reckon they'd have £100 million burn in a hole? Or I suppose just sell a few more hotels, couldn't they?
Nothing they could buy the moon. Honestly, them could do anything and it wouldn't surprise us. Like, so I think that's the only club personally that I think that aren't in the Champions League that could do it.
I don't need to go there.
No. The question wasn't that.
The
question wasn't would he go. The question was what Champions League team could pay 100 million.
Yeah,
and I'm just saying that.
Yeah,
and no way he's not going as well, Mark. He's bought a house.
He has.
There's rumours going around. He spent a few mil on a house, so that means he's not going. That means no.
It means absolutely not. I don't get why people think that's so important.
Well, remember when people Steve Bruce bought a house
down roots? Why? Steve
Bruce bought a house in Cheshire, and people took that as being that's it, he's leaving. And that was like a good year before the takeover, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think. I mean, don't get us wrong. There, though. It is good that he's bought a house here. I'm not saying it's not, but if Arsenal or somebody says there's 300, 400 grand a week, I'm sure he can afford that.
Sorry, mate. Oh, yeah, timing, lads.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, timing. I've just bought a place.
Exactly. Yeah. Imagine that's the reason. Actually, I'd love to come. I just bought a house.
I've got this gaff.
Like, it's just mentally.
I'll put a deposit down.
I'm just getting the internet sorted out, man.
To be fair, Dwight.
Gary Gans again.
Dwight York.
Margot Robbie.
No, the other one. Dwight Gale. His house is still up for sale.
Is it?
And he hasn't been here for years.
All right. Is it empty?
Because money's not an issue for
him. Renting it out.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of players will own these properties and just rent them out to players that then come to the club.
Most of the time it gets passed on from one player to the next.
I've said this before. I'm on here, I'm sure, but I remember reading that Patrick Kluivert moved into Gary Speed's old house. And obviously, both wore number 11 as well. So I had it in my head that like before Gary Speed, Scott Sellers would have owned it.
Pass that number on to it.
And
I don't think Scott Sellers would have been able to afford that.
But like it was always number 11. So it was number 11
Kevin
before.
Sheedy.
Franz Carr.
I think I mentioned this before as well. The episode of Cribs, which Shola did, Czech Teote moved into that house.
That's right.
It must be next door because he was 24, not 23.
Actually,
that was kind of good.
That was very good.
Over the road if it's evens and odds.
Just knock it through.
Good, yeah. But some streets you get 23, and 24 is a mile up the road, depending on the way the
yeah,
numbers go.
That's
Crazy, isn't it?
I think though, if we're being honest, right, Bruno's world class, right? So there's no shock that PSG and Real Madrid and all these teams are wanting him. No shock at all.
Nah, of course.
And
It's a compliment to him.
I think he'll 100% stay this summer, no doubt about it.
Do you think the contract that Joe's signed has helped? Or do you think it's got nothing?
I wouldn't say it's got. I don't think it plays a massive part, but it plays a part
because a pivotal factor, though.
No, I don't think so. If Joe Linton did leave, I don't think all of a sudden Bruno thinks I have to go. I don't. But him staying has to help. But I just think this next season is huge. It's absolutely huge.
It helps massively for if you look at like a family-based sort of thing as well. Because all the photos that you see, the partners, Bruno's and Joe's put on, they're always together. Miggy's as well. Miggy's are normally knocking around as well. They're always normally together.
Old house. He's in Tony's old house.
How long we could go on for like the next 10 years just giving these houses.
I think Lionel Perez lived there to start with.
But yeah, I think like I'm with you, Dick. I think it helps. I don't think it's a deciding factor, but it's definitely going to help.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where if your family life off the pitch is in a good place and happy, then it'll reflect on the pitch. And the fact that his wife and Joe's wife, are they all married now? Probably not each other. Might be, who knows? Like it'll help with things like they're getting on. That was one of the big things when Tonali joined. Like that Trippier was talking about to his missus about making sure that she was happy he found the house and
Trippier was
got friends and all of that kind of thing. Well, because of his wife had struggled when they lived over in Spain,
allegedly.
No, for any other reason, Bestie, that you might be trying to suggest. He's a very loyal man.
Tonali's in John Joe's old house as well. You think Tonali's luscious locks and all that, and John Joe's kind of lack thereof.
Built in a hair salon.
He's had to build it himself, like I.
We could literally like just do a separate spin-off. Just you going through the players' houses tonight, couldn't we?
But literally, no, I'm not. Don't tell you that.
We've got the culprit.
He's in Joe's old houses.
It's Bestie. Is there anything before we start going through anything which has been coming? Anything that you want to mention that's happening? One thing I want to mention is Stavely. Manor Stavely's had to come out and release a statement to say that just still on the board, basically, isn't it? As a director, because there's a couple of rumors going around.
All because people can't read.
Well, all because of some bellends online, really, just trying to lead people down a path saying, "Oh man, Stavely's not on the board anymore. This is happening." Blah 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 blah.
Hey, but all you've got to do is read the article, read the screenshots that people have put on, and you can see that
that doesn't sell more.
Several different company names,
all
different addresses. Just
the problem with that is that the Chronicle, which is where the website I used to read.
Oh, imagine that
the article's so difficult to read on there that I got halfway through it. And
I've told you, press the reader button in the top.
Even
of the
doing
screen.
that, it was like.
I commented again, going, "What is going on here?"
It's terrible. It's the worst website in the world. That like.
Horrific.
I don't even think your laptop.
Or if you download the app as well, it displays properly.
Oh, but then you kind of click the link from. It's a convenient to click the link from X, Twitter.
So people that don't know Decker, Decker comes here every single week, and he comes with his laptop ready, and he does mods on FIFA. Never plays FIFA or Football Manager, but he's got lots of mods. Why don't you find out if somebody's got a mod for the Chronicle website?
That's what they should
get rid of all sponsorship.
I've got like 1,000 mods running at the same time on FIFA, but I can't handle the Chronicle website. Like
crashes your laptop as soon as you
it is horrific though, especially on your mobile as well. Like, I mean, I was on the bug the other day trying to look, and I was just getting so irate. I was just fuming because I was scrolling, and it gave us like 2 lines of text, and then woof. Do you want to go to Spain? No, I didn't. I didn't. Then next one. Do you want some new flooring? No.
Villas for you.
I just want to read. Is Bruno gone anyway?
He's up to Spain.
He's up to Spain. He's got Frank's flooring. Get away from it. Horrendous.
It's awful. It's
and really I understand they've got to make money. I get all of that, but there's got to be a better structure than what I'm seeing.
I would love to know how many people don't go on the website now. Like if you look at like the analytics from let's say 3 years ago to now. If it's dropped, or how long people stay on the website.
There's so much more clickbait now. As I've unfollowed the Chronicle about 2 years ago because of clickbait.
I do normally go straight in the comments because normally someone will go save a click. It's
I'll do that normally on Facebook in particular. But I unfollowed it because the standard of the articles that were coming out was absolutely shocking. It was appalling. And there's some good lads writing for the Chronicle and writing some good stuff as well. But the editorial stance of just getting as many people clicking as possible.
Yeah, I think
it's really
the demand
bad,
of getting stuff out, and then as you say, I agree.
Are we to blame for that kind of like not us four, but YouTube and like
It's
how
his
everything's gone down. It's Mark's fault. How everything's gone down that clickbait route.
Is it?
Well, I think
Every part of it, like.
getting numbers is always the thing, right? But I always
That's
think
what sells, yeah.
Denzel Washington said it much like something like in terms of like
You're going to butcher whatever.
I am
Where
going
were
to
you
butcher it. So I'm
going?
actually
There
going
we
to
go.
stop. No, I'm going to
Yeah,
stop.
we
I'm
go.
not going to say what he said because I'll butcher it. But in terms of like getting out there, getting there first, in terms of getting the news out there, Denzel Washington says a really nice piece about it. People on that, the people would have seen it. But
Is this in a film or is this just him?
no. He gets interviewed about news and he's saying like basically, yes, you know you want to be first to release the news, but make sure it's right, will you? Like, don't just be first. And I think the Chronicle's like that, where they'll just someone like bloody hell. Look at the crack with the kits that we've put on.
Oh, we don't know there, right?
Like,
You've got Scotland people.
so, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, so
Well,
people
it
just
shows
throw-
you-
no, I get it. I'm just saying.
It shows you how fast that spreads because
That's what I
let's talk about the kids a little bit,
It's
right?
because people just believe any old shite that they see on the internet.
Let's talk about the kids a little bit. So we're almost 100% certain that these kids are going to be unbelievably
Oh, you've changed your
the
tune there.
same. Well, I can't give too much away, but we feel as if they're going to almost be identical. A couple of subtle changes is the reason we couldn't do them perfectly is because it just didn't allow us to do it on the software which we're using. How fast that spread is ridiculous. Like, as soon as Footy Headline gets it, it's like boom, that's the kits for next year. Hang on a second. There might be a few differences, yeah.
I think it's Footy Headlines have kind of it feels like what went out kind of corroborated what they'd already said anyway. So
Yeah, we just put it on paper, really.
they've kind of they're a bit of an authority on new kits and stuff like that because they've said like there was one that was pretty similar that got leaked a month ago, and I think they kind of fooled you over collar.
Yeah,
it was really similar to what ended up kind of being put out. And they were saying, "Oh, this is not the new cut." No, they either have seen them or they've seen what people have seen and gone on. Oh, that's not right. But they were quite quick with it. Even since that came out, they've said, I think it still says on there now, there's an Onyx grey bit that isn't on those kits, that is on the.
So I don't even think I told you about this either. So we got sent a message the other day from some kid. I'll not say who it is. Not a Newcastle fan, nothing to do with Newcastle United. Sent us a screenshot of it's some sort of Adidas catalog, which they've gained access to, and it says Newcastle home jersey, and it says black, white, then Onyx. So it seems like there is going to be some sort of grey on it, and we imagine it's down
the side.
the underside.
Yeah, that's what some of the pictures I've seen.
Yeah, so that probably is going to be it.
I would have rather that been blue, if I'm being honest. I love when we've had blue trim in the past. Well, crazy, you know.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, because Puma annihilated that blue sometimes.
Puma annihilated everything. But I think
Castor.
That's unfair. Puma had some decent kits.
It's not unfair.
They did like
most of them were poor. Training gear was diabolical. The only one I loved was that one when they did that one again. I
That was
love
nice,
that one.
yeah.
Which one was that for?
Funny,
The people
actually,
the audio.
I will say, did they do
The blue and maroon.
the blue maroon? That one.
Grandad.
the
That's
green,
why I'm a bit annoyed that they're doing it again.
the
To be
green
honest.
away kit was nice as well. That had a few the Joe Linton kit.
I do feel I'm now going to be going like, oh, actually these were right, but no,
The black on black action.
yes, black
Beautiful.
on black action,
the purple and black one.
I didn't. I thought the home ones are shocking.
horrific.
The away ones, the nailed the away ones. I like the purple one. Not many people like the purple one. I like that one.
I don't know if
It had the luminous yellow badge on it.
Oh, actually, I had it. Yeah,
Yeah, I like
yeah.
that one as well. The guy.
Yeah. I love the black.
It's like the little
black.
triangle
Yeah.
kind of thing, isn't it?
I like the
Purple,
home
black
with
and gold.
the first after it came back up, the 125 years home one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love really nice.
One of the legends one.
Marino.
Mikel
Marino.
Oh.
As soon as I think
The
of
legends one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mikel Marino, I think of.
Yeah.
But yes, so
Aye, but
sorry,
they
we
murdered all the kits though, didn't
not as many
they?
as
These
I
are
first.
30 that were nice.
Yeah, I keep, to be honest, my mind keeps going to like some of the training stuff because I normally wear that more, if I'm honest.
Aye.
The coats and the jackets and the tops.
Yeah, I do. I
And
tend to do
I did buy a lot of the Puma ones and I used to put them on. Horrific, this like. I just didn't like them, but dick that I am, I bought them like. But I think Adidas hopefully will get that side right. I hope.
Well, they'll be bringing like lots of retro stuff out and all, wouldn't they? You'd imagine, like.
Yeah, I mean the cost will be magnificent. It'll be.
Well, this leads to
Draw,
the
draw.
next bit, Bestie. I think we've mentioned this quite a few times, but because obviously it's getting closer now. What's going to happen? Well, I know you don't 100% know, but what are your thoughts on the retro kits now? So if you own a Newcastle United shirt from 1995 to 2000, whenever it was, does that price go up or does the price go down?
It depends. I mean, the rumor is that they're going to bring out the Grandad collar one again. Like that's Footy Headlines again have said that. So
Or was it Newcastle United experts, GallowgateShots?
well,
That's what they refer to us. The dafties.
They never watched that. not this one at least. Maybe
Nice
one of
for
the
yourself.
maybe Scott's one or something like that, like Andy's. But,
Yeah, we'll not
not
flag
us,
them off.
not one night.
Yeah.
I would. It seems like a bit of a kind of almost, I'd say, a guarantee that would bring out the Granda Collar home shirt at some point. But then
I don't think it'll be an exact copy though, because even the retro stuff that they brought out for like Man United and Arsenal, they're along the same lines. They're of the same design, so you can look at it and say, "Oh, that's what it is." But it's no different to like what Scoredraw have done. Than that kind of thing. It's just an homage to it.
Well, you got the Scoredraw one behind you.
Yeah. Only difference is obviously it's not, those ones don't have the sponsor, the logo on, the branding. Yeah, whereas that will.
Well, there's a few. Obviously, it doesn't have the brand on the tit, but it doesn't have it on the buttons either. Because it had Adidas
doesn't it?
Around the buttons.
Of course, yeah.
I don't think it's got any sort of thing like that on it.
It has got the sponsor, is there? If I'm touching up the sponsor on the
proper stuff, yeah.
It's like the kind of the raised felty,
spot on,
whatever it is. Like, what would my advice be as a kit connoisseur and collector?
As a spreadsheet nonce.
I am a spreadsheet. I've got all those shirts. I'm not getting rid of them. Like, I'm keeping them. I would rather. I've been saying as well, if you see stuff online, I wouldn't buy it now. And there's loads of snags knocking about as well. So there's that side of things as well. Like,
it's getting harder as well.
And it's getting harder at a spot. It is getting harder at a spot. I think you would know if you had one in your hands, but looking at one on eBay, on Vinted or Depop, whatever, it is harder to tell. So I would say, if you must have one, be careful. Or if you're looking to get rid of one, I don't know. It's tough in it because mine are like me. I'll be buried in mine. If they fit,
no chance.
No, not.
They'll be buried with you.
With them, maybe it's like aye.
The weight of that goblin.
I'm not being one of your ushers carrying you.
One of your ushers, I'm already married.
They're not called ushers. Like
pole bearers.
Pole bearers. Should have known that from bloody Undertaker. You must still have an usher, though. Like,
watch this.
Make people that come into the chapel, tell them where to sit and that.
Mark,
I don't think it ushers have funerals.
It might not be the. You do have an usher type role.
Can I be your best man at your funeral?
No, you do, because they'll get up and they'll do a eulogy.
There was speech. There was speech at the funeral breakfast.
Yeah.
Rehearsal dinner the night before.
They'll get up and they'll do a eulogy. Talk about what a cunt you were.
Players cards at the weekend. I'll send my order in for the food, Bessie. Now, what are you having?
I'll get a little bit of Savaloy for mine, like, definitely.
Savaloy dips for everybody.
Aye. But I would hold on because it's June the 7th. Apparently, it's going to be announced, the new one. So it's just under 6 weeks away, 7 weeks away. So I'll just hang on for now. Like,
I think the other thing I'd say is, God, that was funny. It's like, yes, for all the template may be identical. The sponsor's never going to be the same, right? Like, it's just like, I think the reason why people love them so much is because Brown Ale's on there, Newcastle's at Wales, it's going to have Cellar plastered on it. So the template might be exactly that shirt.
Well, no, but the retro stuff they do, like Man United's retro stuff, sponsored by Shop. Even the modern stuff.
Oh, sorry.
So
Okay, sorry. Take that back. Sorry, take that back. I thought you meant if they copied a template and they released it as a shirt.
No, this is.
I get what you're saying because I have seen their gear and it's lush. To be fair, it's absolutely lush.
But it's lush. Like.
Yeah, it's lush.
The original stuff will always carry a premium, though.
You'd have said so. If you get an old one in good nick, I've seen a couple of the green and purple keep that top, 95, 96 Predator style one, and I've seen one recently online. Which looks, because I know that you can get snide ones of them now, and this one looked, from what I can gather, like an original, absolutely perfect. And if you can get one like that, like you're paying 300, 400 quid for it.
A lot of my retro gear that I've got, I bought before anyone really cared about it, if that makes sense. And I was picking up some absolutely amazing stuff. I mean, Champions League Shira one with the NTL on, I think I got that for like 35 quid.
Aye.
And that was way. I mean, I'm talking years and years and years and years and years ago. Now we'll probably put £200. You know what I mean?
It was during lockdown. I'd always not collected them, but I'd buy them, not throw them out. I just kept them, so not with a view to being a collector. And I'm not a collector now, really. I just think I've just got a lot of football shirts.
Surely by proxy that means
no. There's a very.
I'm not a collector of football shirts. I've just got loads of them.
But I don't buy them. Thinking, oh, that's good for a collection. I'll buy it because I want to wear it. Like all the Newcastle ones I've got.
How many of them fit you?
I'll wear them. I'll wear that.
So you're not buying them to wear then, are you?
Well, eventually.
Or is it a hope that one day they'll fit you again?
Do you only have Newcastle shirts, Bestie? Or do you
I've got sorts.
So you'll have a real better one and stuff,
got
obviously.
one.
So
My
you normally
best,
buy
yeah.
a shirt from
Yeah.
everywhere you go, don't you? Like on holiday.
It's harder. I mean, I go to Greece a lot, and in the north of Corfu, there's not really unless you get a snide one from the corner shop.
Markets and that.
But I have done like I've not where places I go, but like I went to see Leverkusen on my stag do, and I came back and I thought, a nice shirt. So I got a couple of Leverkusen shirts off the back of that. I've got a few UV shirts, but I'm the same like you, Decker. I've got loads of shirts. I've got a few English. I had a Leeds shirt when I was a kid. From the John Boy, I had a Tottenham kit. I've got a few Tottenham shirts. Nice shirts.
I had an Aberdeen shirt randomly.
Aberdeen, I had a Celtic. Actually, I've been digging out old photos that like obviously when my dad moved house, I got loads of his old photographs. I'm scanning them at the minute and kind of putting them, like getting them the dates right and all that and the locations and whatnot. And I found like I had a Celtic tracksuit top that I totally forgot about. And I was never, I wasn't brought up a Catholic. I had a Rangers shirt as well when I was a kid. It was just because I liked them, so I thought I'd have that. So I'm not a collector as such, but I just like them. And I used to play football. I used to wear football shirts.
I think because you're like me, we're very similar in regards. We just love kits, right?
Like football,
I just love kits
kits
so much. Like I've thought loads of times that probably no one would even want to do it, but like just go like when the new season starts, even just go through every team and look at their shirt and talk about their shirt. And it's not even us, like, but
when I get FIFA, one of the first things I do is go through
all the kits. I do. I'm the same. I'm exactly the same.
That Decker doesn't play FIFA when he gets it.
Yeah, true.
I think I'm 42 and I'm doing that.
Well, no, I think that a lot. There's certain things I do on, and I'm thinking, I'm 40, man. Like, well, I'm getting there. I'm not 40 yet, but what am I doing? But I don't care. It's how I am. I'm never going to change. So
that's what I have to be doing. That's no problem with it, like But no, I've kind of I've bought loads, but I always buy them with it. I think, that'll look great at like 5-a-side or something like that. Now my knees have got me feet on that, and I'm 5-6 stone overweight. So when's that going to happen?
So just collecting them.
Well, not the bought it. Just no, that's what I'm saying. I've not bought a new shirt in. I think I bought one this year. Yeah,
Amy's not listening. You can tell the truth.
Yeah. Be honest.
Only one I got this year is I've collected. This started happening.
It's collected.
It started happening during lockdown.
Hang on.
I started.
Did you not buy one on the way to Blackburn?
I bought that one now.
I knew
He's getting lost in his own lies.
I did bought that one, but I also got the 2007-8 away, the light blue with a kind of black square thing on the front. Joey Barton wore it. When he kicked Dixon to it.
Yes.
But I'm only missing one. The only kind of semblance of a collection I have is long sleeve Adidas kits, Newcastle ones. And I'm only missing one for that, and I have them all. But it's the dark blue with the orange and green stripe.
Yes,
and you just looking 300, 400 quid for that. Like, so
I was reading that that like when Adidas returned, they're bringing long sleeve shirts back. That was part of that. I think I tagged in it, but that's good. Like, to be fair, because
I've done like Argentina, Germany, Man U. I've got a few long sleeve. Like Rashford always wears them. So I
don't think I've ever had a long sleeve shirt.
Only once I did. It was the first one I got. No,
apart from keeper ones.
No.
Oh, no, sorry, I'm wrong there. No, sorry, no, I haven't. No.
I think I started getting majority of my shirts when we started recording video format of this podcast, when we used to be back in the Ashley and we used to hang them behind we.
Yes,
but honestly, the same as you, I used to go on eBay and get them for like 10, 15 quid.
For
decent like shirts as well.
It is incredible.
Now, you're looking at close to 100 quid for every single one of them now.
Yeah, I think it's mad. Like, it is mad how fast that sort of trend has kicked off. Like, because I used to buy so many. Like, you know what I mean? I got my Keegan coat. I mean, Newcastle Keegan coat, the black, the Adidas one.
Oh, it's quite similar. Yeah, top
similar, to be fair, it's very similar to this side. But I got that full length jacket. Still had the tag on, man. I got it. I'm telling you, there was no DHgate around then. It's a real one, like, you know. And I think I got that for 35.
I remember you got one in the last, since I've been doing this, in the last 6-7 years. And I went online. I thought, I like that. I'm going to see if I can do that. And you were like the last, you know, at the end of Lord of the Rings when I get the boat and everyone else is like that. It's like all of a sudden the price went woof on all of them. And it went within a week. It was 100 quid. Then it was 150. Then 200. Yeah. And now, I mean, you're looking at ridiculous amounts of money.
Well, if I got 500 quid, I'm seeing my jacket for, and I got offered 500 quid for it.
I had
it, when Adidas bring theirs on out next season, that'll be about 225 probably, and that's one for no, like, it's just I don't know.
There's no history in it.
No history in it. That's
I had an old Umbro drill top, and it was like had a grey kind of, it looked like a bib almost at the top here, and black sleeves. Had the, you know the tape that was at the bottom of the 1990 World Cup shirt, that across there, big Umbro badge in the back. I wore it every day for school when I was in juniors.
Back at school,
I loved it, and I'm thinking, I love that again now. And even when you take a drill top off, everything comes off with it because it's just.
Mine's terrible.
And they're like a couple hundred quid. I think I'd love to buy. I'd love one of those again, but unless we go back to Umbro again, Chris, which I don't think is going to happen.
Well, I'll be the first to tell you if we do it.
We have wrong designs and stuff like that. Get on, kid creator.
I'm going to straight in with one of the questions, because it's kind of on topic. It's from El Grande Salmon, who is a member. So if you do want to become a member, it is just $2.99 a month to do that. He says, talking of retro. Talking of retro.
Oh, that's just reminded us.
Hang on, I'm halfway through a question.
Oh, this is really important.
It better be.
They've changed the name of Metro Radio.
Hang on.
Metro Radio.
Radio.
What's it called again now?
Hits
It's
Radio.
Metro, and I think there's another one, another local station that's done the same.
Well, it's all of in that group. It all became Hits Radio.
No,
TFM.
can't remember.
Whatever that then became after that.
I don't really listen to radio, to be fair.
Not
So El
pleased about that.
Grande Salmon says, talking of retro, were any of you lads into Subbuteo back in the day?
Love this. Absolutely love this.
What was that shop in Shields? Was it bins? And you used to go downstairs in bins in the
Change
basement. Was that what it was? The basement was just full of Subbuteo gear.
Change Yellow on King Street.
Was it
towards the
TJ Allen,
market.
was it? Aye. Yeah, I used to go down there. I did.
Bins had it as well.
TJ Hughes.
Bins
in
was
town
huge,
now.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Bins had it as well.
Joplins. That was the Mackin version of Bins, wasn't
Yeah, I
it?
believe so. Aye.
I used to be, when you used to buy the magazines and stuff you could get. And there's always normally on the back page there'd be some kid playing it and he had a full football, like the stand.
Stadium and all that.
stadium.
Aye.
And I was like, I really want that, me dad. You'll never get your arms in to play that, man, if you had the stadium. So he used to tell us
Right,
that. But
right.
he
Sounds
probably,
like your dad, eh?
me dad, didn't I? And he was like, you never get your hands in, man. What you only have for? But it looked amazing. Like,
I
it just
love
looked class.
Subbuteo.
Yeah, it was class,
I've still kind of, I've got an eBay search save like Subbuteo stuff. Like, I'm not born with it. Like, so
I
I'm not a
can fully
collector.
imagine
I've
if that
got
was the
one
case,
in the
Decker.
loft.
If you had the full Subbuteo gear, you would just lay it all out and not play with it.
100% would. I'd like
the sliders on
I
this one.
honestly would. I'd have the right sponsor boards. I'd paint them in. I'd never
You have
play a game. I'd just set it
a
up.
big green stick that you stood in the end of like that.
Wonderful. What was that? Remember that other football game where it was like a
Pro action football.
was that the electronic one like that?
No, that
Or
was
in
Superstar. Oh, Taylor had it.
something like that was unreal. That
When
one.
me and Taylor were kids, he got it for Christmas one year, and it was the loudest game you've ever heard in your life. You turn it on, and like, there was this mechanical thing, but it was. I'm not going to make a noise because, by Christ. But I remember me and Taylor played it on like around Christmas time around his mum and dad's house, and it lasted like 5 minutes, and me Uncle Doug dancing. No,
I get it.
that's gone.
Or it swallows the batteries.
I always think that. I don't know why they make. This is just away from that, but like, why they make toys so loud? Like, we got the bin, this Batman pinball machine thing. My God, the tune that it plays, horrific. And I was like, turn it off. Why you got to have that music?
My dad and his wife Joanne bought our Alfie. William's got it now. Like, it's a steering wheel thing. So when he's in the car, he gets but it's got a gear stick and and there's no volume control in it. So he turns it on and it's all ready. It doesn't matter. You could be in like a stadium. We could be sitting in the Gallowgate and someone in the leaders and you think, hang on a sec, what's that? And it's so loud.
Isn't it funny that when you have kids, you just become a grumpy old man immediately?
I do.
Oh,
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I was looking at photos of like when I had one kid and I had a dark hair and it's just white on the sides now. I'm talking to William going, yeah, mate, look, you've done this.
Done this.
I've lost loads of weight. It's like dark hair. William, you're a swine. You.
Shall we go through some of the comments? Some of the questions. So the first one, as always, from Josh Stockton, who sends in another donation. Thanks very much, Josh.
Cheers, Josh.
He says, hi lads, hope you're well. The rumoured home kit for next season is giving me 2001-2002 NTL vibes. I think it is unbelievably similar, isn't it, really?
I think that's kind of the...
His question is, would you like to see a retro version of the dark blue away kit from that season released this summer? So he's talking about, he mentions the Nikos Dabazas kit.
The one where you
That's
scored
the denim one, isn't it?
No.
It's darker blue, have like a
No.
a black underarm.
It's dark blue and it's the NTL's like a outline.
The stripes.
So the N's an outline and the T and the L's like a block.
The stripes went down the sleeve and kind of the far side stripes kind of got the bottom and went round with them and met each other.
I'll have it.
Oh, no, the back one.
Spelled all of that wrong.
It was the one that Dabazas scored at the Stadium Lighting. That was my last game as a teenager. That one.
I've got a photo of it because I just sold this not long ago.
Wasn't
to
it in
be
the
fair.
1980s?
And I turned 20 the day Dabazas scored that one.
That one.
That's a fella, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've just got rid of that one. I've just sold that one actually because it was a size
it's lovely.
medium.
It's
I've got that.
absolutely
But
lush,
they're
that.
quite hard to combine and decent nick them ones.
Yeah, they are just those sponsors just peel off like.
And they click like mad.
Yeah,
Material.
they did,
It's a lovely underrated shirt, that mind.
It's a beautiful
nice that
shirt.
one. Kieran
Remember,
Dyer got injured
Shearer-
at Southampton in that one. I seem to recall.
Yeah, I think he did.
World Cup.
I remember Shearer scoring an absolute rake against Bolton away. An absolute
Oh,
screamer.
born out.
Top bin. That was unbelievable strike.
Lauren Roberts got it. I think
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Robert scored, yeah.
I was
Shearer's free kick was
I was
unbelievable.
on a train going to Glasgow to see Oasis Saturday. It was class.
I was doing something else, but I'll not tell you what I was doing.
The eyebrow just went there. So.
Yeah, never forget it. I celebrated more for that goal than I did at the time when I was doing something else.
Was it Christmas?
Oh, I think I...
You remember that? Oh, he wasn't there. Yeah, it's true though. It was funny that.
But yeah, what if we just twist that comment round from Josh, Mark? If you could pick one, I know I'm putting you on the spot. Yeah, one retro kit to bring back. Doesn't have to be identical, but a play on that kit. What kit you going for?
Ooh.
Could be anyone. Doesn't have to be Adidas, Umbro, wherever. Anything.
It would have to be for me back into the late 80s.
Oh, hang on, we could be going the same one here.
Yellow and green
Stripes on
away
it.
kits, not the
I saw
stripes, the triangle
Yeah.
green holes.
The promotion, Grimsby away.
Yeah.
Did Mickey Quinn wear that one?
Yes.
He will have done.
He will have.
Because we had it for a couple of seasons, It was the McEwen's Lager one, wasn't it? When we went from green holes to...
Yeah.
Mine would be the one before, the yellow and green stripes. I love that kit. Bjorn Christiansen and relegation that year.
So you're both going for Saudi colours, I guess.
I was sports washed, me and
Yellow and
Mark.
green?
Right?
Nah.
I was looking for it because you know what my favourite Newcastle shirt is the Bobby Robson, the 99-2000. Before it went to NTL, I would have to. It's the same shirt, by the way, but I would say the brown ale version. Just
That's gorgeous, that one. Like that.
I think it's the greatest shirt, the greatest kit ever.
I love the away one from that season. Obviously, that's kind of
Yeah,
what we're
yeah.
getting for the...
But what I would, and it's only one player wears it, but it would be the Sunset Goalkeeper top if they could redo that one somehow.
You don't see very many loud goalkeeper shirts now, though. Design.
No, you don't know.
Next season's Adidas ones a little bit.
I've not seen any of the goalkeeper ones, to be honest.
They're just templates, but Adidas ones tend to be. You don't get like the... Umbro did a thing for just the Brazilian league a couple of years ago where they brought back... Remember Peter Schmeichel wore them in the early to mid-90s and they were really loud, like berserk. It was the same design, but
We used to always get that in the South American teams, didn't you? All wild colours.
Yeah. Hummel have done it. Hummel have done like Bristol City's goalkeeper shirt was a play on the Danish one from '92, like loads of little hexagons, but like a rainbow overarching kind of motif on the wall. So you know if you saw it like,
next season, haven't they?
But yeah, they're going back. It looks quite. They brought a training shirt out from the one that they wore for the '92 Cup final.
The Sunderland's is.
Sunderland's training jackets this season look unreal, to be fair.
They brought loads of Avex stuff back as well.
The other ones.
They did, yeah.
Because
They've done really well.
He's got loads of Avex. He's got all of it. Like
you see people walking around with it, like it's. I mean, it's obviously can't really be seen to be praising something too much, but it's smart. Like
they've got the old badge as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, the shape on the top of the red and white. Yeah, that looks. I mean,
but I think my best mate sent us a picture. And he went, they wore the same jacket. Now the colours were like purple and stuff, which I thought was a bit random.
No, it's because
but then he showed us the photo of '92, and it was the same.
They only brought out.
Go on, son.
Go on, son. They only brought out.
Mark's just lost his mic for those that are listening.
They only brought out 1992 copies, if you want to call that items, if that tracker top as well.
How many fans have gotten it?
No, there'll be plenty of spare.
God, you're going to turn into Freddie Mercury the other way, wasn't
it?
If I'm picking one kit, not this exact kit because players would lose a nipple left, right, and centre, like, but it'll be the blue one with the orange and green stripe down the left hand side.
Yeah, that one.
It's a lovely kit, but I wouldn't want to see exactly the same, but use them same colours on a template of a shirt. Because that's one that you don't have.
Design one of them.
I've got the short sleeve one, but yeah, he did.
Nice.
Yeah, it did.
Scott did one last
it was like orange and green on the front. Yeah, they look good, that one. But at the same time, I mean, you can kind of disappear up your own arse with retro stuff. Like you've got it, those shirts are all brand new at some point. And I mean, we've had. I love that purple Puma one that we talked about a while ago. Little triangles on. I think you've got to move forward as well. Like I mean that out the Castle kits, none of them were really. That one's a little bit of a retro style, but I suppose they're actually the early 80s.
Yeah, that one is. Yeah.
But the away ones, I think Castov's, for all the issues that there's been with quality, and so I think the shirts for the most part have actually been quite nice.
Yeah, I've liked them.
And they've been original for the most part as well. Like obviously the Saudi colours is a bit of a thing. But that green shirt in isolation, I think it's quite a nice shirt. Obviously,
it's grew on me massively. After
disassociating it from the kind of sports washing in inverted commas thing. It is a problem, like, you know, and I've got one at home and he put it, but it's that represent, you know, you can't get it in your head. The one, the blue one from last year with the kind of little yellow stripes going up the sleeve. I thought that was really smart.
Lovely, I've got that one.
The retro stuff's lush and it really is good, but I hope they don't just do that. And I know you guys have said as well, the red and blue hoops. It's been done
twice now.
I wasn't. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I am. I think it'll be a nice shirt and all that. And I will get one, and you know all that carry on. Like, but I know I would like to see what else they can do, because it's not as if you're bound.
I think
by the
I
old
just
kits.
think with that one, I think the Grandad neck collar plays such a part of what the shirt is, and that ain't
Yeah.
going to be the shit. That ain't going to be the neck on it, right?
Well, it wasn't the Puma one, wasn't it? Didn't we have a
But
collar?
yeah,
The
it
Puma
didn't.
one?
To be fair, you're right. Yeah.
And what we
I
have
don't
seen,
know.
obviously, with that shirt, the maroon and blue one is the cream color on it.
Totally
Every
agree.
single time they do it
It's
white.
white, yeah, it should be cream.
shorts.
It's just
Yeah.
not the
Oh,
same.
shorts were unbelievable.
Aye.
I was thinking, do you know that?
But really
Lush.
heavy.
Yeah, yeah.
Really, if you wash them, they took a week to dry.
No,
As
they're
well, like
crinkly and
jeans.
all, crinkly.
Aye. I wear like jeans. Aye.
I
Creased
like
that
jeans.
Aye.
Aye.
I think about the socks that I had for that kit.
What socks you had?
No, the socks. So the socks were red with
The ones in the
three
garage or
because
something
of
like
the- I
Them
had
ones,
them.
aye,
Aye, so
yeah.
I've done that one. Then. I'll not
Ah,
do
you've
it
done
again.
it, yeah.
Right. Next question is from Jules. Let's get back to some serious conversations. It says, thoughts on the chatter that we've reached an agreement and a settlement fee for Dan Ashworth to Man United.
I've
Mark.
seen someone say
It's been
15.
a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure whether, because there's been contradiction on that today. Some saying, well, once we get this, because we're meant to have a short list of between 3 and 5 names of who will replace
And
them.
apparently we're looking for Premier League experience.
Yeah, well, the 3 names that I've seen, I think maybe was only one of them that does
could
have
pronounce.
experience. Definitely that side of it as well. So I think so they've said that once that kind of gets whittled down and we've then got somebody, in position or lined up that would accelerate him going. I think that we're doing the right thing in trying to play hardball on the situation. If they want him, that badly, then they're going to have to pay a sizable sum to get him, given the disruption that it'll have to the club. So, like we said weeks and weeks ago when it was kind of announced, if he goes, he goes. We've just got to make sure that we get the right deal of it, and it's the right thing for our club, because he can be replaced.
Yeah, I mean, they've just announced Jason Wilcox, haven't they, in the last couple of days, and he's apparently going to report to whomever the sporting director at Ashworth it'll be, won't it?
Yeah.
I've wondered, because when Wilcox was kind of been talking about it the other week, I didn't know that was going to be the kind of hierarchy they set up there. I was thinking, if it falls through and they don't go there, would we have him back? I mean, not like a moral or a kind of emotional level, but would Newcastle then say, right, you're contracted to us, so come back and do would that, or would he go on gardening leave? Is that like,
I'm not sure how the contract would work, because obviously we've had to force him on gardening leave, because obviously the reasons we've touched before, because you can't be privy to like some boardroom meetings and things like that any longer. I don't think we'd welcome him back.
I think it's probably burnt his bridges, hasn't he?
See, I don't know if he has burnt his bridges. He's all people. It's going on as if he's gone on strike.
No, but I don't think the club would have took the action that they did without solid evidence of him doing something.
Well, did he not say
sense?
to them? Did he not say to them?
He said he wanted to go. He wanted to leave.
So that's the point at which they said, "All right, well, you can go, but we'll do it." So it's not as if he's like. And people have been really like weird about it.
Well, you know what our fans are like. I mean, great. Like it's fine when a player goes on strike for their club to come to us, but they do it
what
for
Andy
us.
Gordon did.
Gordon did it. Kabay did it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's one of them where you look through our black and white eyes, if you like, and it's like, how dare you do that to us? But he did the same thing from Brighton, to be fair, to come here. So like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just. He has one of them. He has one of them.
Slightly different though.
Yeah,
well, maybe it was slightly different.
The club and said we would like him.
Aye, but he still jumped ship, though, didn't he?
Well, he did, but because
nobody complained then, though, did they? But now he wants to jump ship to go Man United while crying. You can't. You just got to accept it and move on.
I think it's more the circumstances.
Well,
of
I'm not disagreeing with
you. Came about that.
I think people are more annoyed at Jim Radcliffe.
Yeah,
but he wasn't at Brighton that long, was he?
Not really.
Because
he went from England.
He did from England, then he got Potter in and did that sort of. To be fair, great job. To be fair, like
did a really good job. But like,
but then they've got Man United's also got the Man City guy as well, who's jumped ship from Man City. Who apparently is
recruited about 4 or 5, something like that.
So they've ripped them apart, which to be fair they need doing, and they're starting again. But I think I've only seen that from one area, to be fair, like from one source. So I don't, and it might be right, don't get us wrong. I'm just saying, before I sat in this chair, I only seen it from one area. I hadn't seen it anywhere else. But 15 million be the highest director of football ever in terms of a fee. I mean, same as Alan Shearer. But like, it is mental high. But I think it just. I think I said this before, right? That this line needs to be drawn. We need to get it done and dusted, because we need to fill that role. We need someone in there.
We've got the transfer windows coming up.
We need. I'm not saying for a second that the transfer window and all of that work isn't still going on without him being there. I'm not saying that, but that position needs filled. So if we get 50 million from, let him go. I seen Radcliffe crying and moaning, saying that it's a disgrace that you can have somebody that wants to come, but then he has to go on gardening leave and all this type of noise. And I'm thinking, you're just whinging on because you're not getting what you want.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, imagine if we try to get your guy, say, if it rules reverse, say, I guarantee you he'd be digging his heels in.
Like Jesse Lingard.
Do you know what I mean? Well, yeah, true, exactly. Yeah. So it's just
We'll dodge a bullet there.
We did in the end, aye.
But I like, what does he think's going to happen when he tries to buy players?
Just because they want to come, they have to come.
Yeah,
it's just mental attitude.
It's bizarre, it's childish. Like, but yeah, hopefully it's like resolved. I read a thing. I think we'll share it in our group, and I don't know if it's been corroborated or not. Like, but if it's £15 million, and I just want it to be done so we can kind of. It feels like, and I know it won't be the case necessarily, but it feels like it's kind of we've been in limbo a little bit. You just kind of want to get someone else in and get the work done, like, you know, because like we've got a big season next season. If whether or not we'll finish in Europe this year. Next year, we've got to have a good run at the Champions League, because if we don't, I think that's when the point at which you'll see the likes of Bruno and Isaac go like another year older.
Yeah, going back to the point I meant an hour ago was that like if we have to have that type of season, because then when these links happen, there's probably going to be movement. Like,
I wonder if it's affected the likes of the plan for the football club going forward, because we mentioned how far ahead of our schedule of getting Champions League football last season. I wonder if it's took it back a little bit behind the scenes, because we haven't had Dan in that role, or anybody in that role doing that job for X amount of months now, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
I can't see how it can't.
It's got to.
Exactly. How can it not have affected?
I don't think there'll be standstill. I think
the wheels will be
there'll be a contingency,
but slowly compared to what it was previously. It's got to have effect in, so it's got to slow it down.
Yeah, it will have had
Has to,
effect,
yeah.
but hopefully I mean, they're not daft people, like, so there'll be someone in there you'd have thought as a contingency, as a kind of
you would think whatever they've mapped out, parts of what's being mapped out can still be carried on with, you know. But that's what I mean by the longer it goes on, you then really start falling behind. Do you know what I mean? And but you know, I think hopefully they can get this. So I have to say, I think Eddie Howe's been tremendous through that whole period. You know, when you think of, he got asked a lot of difficult questions, didn't he, at certain times of this? I think he's handled it so well. As we always say in press conferences, there's probably nobody better in terms of just answer. I don't know. He doesn't.
There was one press conference where you could tell he was a bit annoyed.
Because it was constant. Yeah, but I do think he's managed that whole thing really, really well. Like,
yeah, I agree.
The scouting network's all still there. We've obviously recruited into that recently as well, with bringing in new blood into that team. So when you look at what they're looking to do with identifying players and make sure that that's matched, that work is still happening regardless of him being there or not.
Eddie's brother got a promotion, didn't he?
That side of it
so
as
his
well.
Nephew,
Yeah. So yes, I get he's probably like the captain of the ship around that piece of work, and the other stuff around the academy and all of that kind of thing of developing that through. But again, the identifying of the players and all of that kind of thing will still be happening regardless of him being there or not. So there's still a lot of what we would have been wanting to achieve, and the type of player, how they fit into the way we play, all of their values and everything that they do has all been automated through what's been put into place since he's joined and the teams have come in. So the mechanism should still be happening in the background from what he brought and introduced anyway.
I was going to say the mechanism, maybe it's not completely, but in no small part, what he did. You know, the amount of staff that they employ now in that kind of capacity, we didn't before he got. So he's done his job. Basically, I would like him to have stayed through the whole project. When I call it that 10 years, but that's football. If Man U come in for a member of staff, they are going to get their heads turned.
And that's why it's key that we just get the right person in now to replace them. And as soon as that happens, then it's right, go back to the table and negotiate, because we don't need them anymore at that point. But you've got to stick to your guns on it, though.
Oh yeah, totally.
Don't be pushed over.
Done the right thing for me.
No,
I agree.
Because even Man U fans have said like how important he's going to be to them, without really knowing what he does. I think a lot of them like, and that's far more than £20 million, which is what we are apparently holding out for. You know, that's
if they've all had 15 now, it's
apparently so. Yeah, that's what I read. And it's a lot for a director of football, in you know, on the face of it. But what he would make more than £15 million worth of improvement to them, I would guess. So
you would like to think so.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't think so at all.
Well, the opposite.
But yeah,
Well,
that's what they want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to talk about? Anything that's happened in
Sorry,
the world
yes.
of Newcastle United in the last week since we were last here? Are we scratching the heads at this point?
Yeah.
I don't think there's much happening, really, has there?
I feel like there is as well. Dan Ashworth we've covered.
If anybody watching right now has got anything else that you'd
Aye.
like to talk about, quickly send it in.
Send it in.
Because, like I said, I thought we were going to struggle. We've managed to fill an hour.
Mostly about kids, like.
Mostly about kids,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's absolutely. There's nothing. I think we've touched every base on that one.
I think Mark mentioned this in the chat, but we didn't. About the carry on at the weekend, which has nothing to do with us. But I am interested to see your takes.
All right, go on then, Mark. You put in the group then.
Go on, Mark.
Yeah, so it was obviously over the weekend. The big controversial piece happened was with regard to Forest and the statement that they put out after their game.
And their parody account that they made up.
Yeah, I mean that's a bold statement to put.
Yeah, it's a
out
fight
in the place, isn't it?
litigious. That the Premier League could get litigious about it.
Yeah.
Because it's an allegation of impropriety. That
We're talking about the tweet that they put out in this.
So it was the tweet that they put out, and then they backed it up with obviously an official statement around. And to be fair, when you look at what they're drawing attention to, they're absolutely right. They're absolutely right that there was 3 incidents in their game that have gone to VAR, and I would say probably the first 2 you may be 50-50 on
Ashley
it.
Young was involved in every one, wasn't he?
The last one, wow.
I thought the second one, the third one,
Absolute
definitely.
Stonewall.
The handball, I don't think is. I think
It's a funny one, isn't it? Because Man United got one given against them at the weekend.
Exactly the same.
And I mean, I didn't think that was handball, can I say? But that one is that's handball to me.
I don't think it is the first Ashley Young
But
one.
if you give that one, that has to be.
I think
it's the other way around from the Man United one probably shouldn't be given,
I agree.
and the Forest one should be given,
I
but
don't
it's
think
the
first
other way
one-
around.
I think the first one should be.
Well,
So I think
but I'd definitely say 2 out of the 3.
If we
I don't think you can really
the
argue.
Grealish one in the semi against Chelsea is more of one.
That's another one.
Yeah, but you kind of give out against Man City.
It all comes back
You're not
to
allowed to.
VAR, doesn't it? But for them to put that statement out and basically call into question the
integrity of
the VAR official
fan.
there,
He's a Luton
basically
fan, aye.
saying we didn't get those results because he's a Luton fan.
And
And
Tommy Robinson
We
sitting
told
there.
them he was a Luton
It's-
fan.
I can't believe they've done that. Like,
I mean,
He was wearing his Luton kit in the
there is
group.
a bit of a, you know,
the question
that
for the audience.
that question around the fact that as an official, you've got to announce any allegiances that you might have. Certain referees don't get to referee certain games. We see that happening all the time. It makes it so easy by the PGMOL not replacing him or having somebody else there for a finger to be pointed at it. But it's very bold to come out and say that in a statement. That
The ironic thing is as well that Forest are the only club to employ an old referee as a Mark Clattenburg's.
well,
Yeah,
Now Gladiators referee.
Gladiator as well.
Oh,
That's mad. I do. When I read that, I didn't understand. Cause I must admit, I didn't realise Clattenburg was in that position at Forest.
yeah.
So when
You're
it,
going to say on Gladiators.
Is it referees
I
advice,
knew
that
you
type
done
of thing?
So
Yeah.
when I see Neville booting off saying he needs to step down, I think step down from what? He's on Gladiators, man. Like, and honestly, I thought
Get the Scottish
you
lad
want him
back.
to, step down from Gladiators because of what he's
do you
said.
not reckon?
Then I realised.
Do you not reckon he started putting that Scottish accent on for being
did?
the referee
Yeah.
Did?
on Gladiators? He's put Gladiators ready.
I only watched the first couple.
Mate, you're from North Shields.
Yeah.
I didn't stick with it.
You're not from Edinburgh.
I think I have no, I don't know. It's a difficult one. Neville was going ballistic saying the club can't do this, they can't do that. Listen, that was horrific. Like what happened to them there, that was horrific. Like because them are penalties. Like you know what I mean. Now I just think the tweet after the game was like almost a fan had the phone like
It's been to the pub
it
for a
is
couple.
just
Yeah,
picked
I
up, and
thought
that
I've
was the
been-
problem.
They're going to say they've been hacked.
But then the referee came out. The manager came out and said exactly the same thing.
Oh, but that's he can crack on. I've got no honestly. I cannot stand right for some reason. People get upset when managers complain or be honest about a situation.
Yeah.
They're working like the pressure that's on them, man, to get a result. And when it goes against you, punch the guy and start asking the question. Oh, no problem, mate. Like honestly, I never understand why people get so upset when a manager loses it. I don't get it. I don't know. And to me, I can you imagine if it was us behind that camera getting and witnessing what you've just? I would be fuming.
We've sat and talked for an hour on here before about decisions.
Yeah, like, and if he shows a bit of passion, hey mate, like you've
Yeah,
worked all week for this.
I completely agree. Show that passion, argue your case, put across that you think the decisions have been wrong and that you feel you've been hard done by. But you cannot be going and quitting saying, "Oh, he's only giving it because he's a Luton fan." He came out and backed that up as the manager of the club.
He's probably right.
Maybe
He's probably right.
Maybe he tweeted it.
He's probably, well, mind you, they've requested the audio now, and I hope that the audio is like, you know, when he says, "Oh,
on, you
definitely
hands."
a pen," nah, near a pen, yeah, like a real funny.
Up the
Like,
Luton.
I hope the Luton. That's what we need. That's what we need because that'll be amazing.
The third one, the foul is.
It's a foul.
I have no idea. It's no idea.
Have we
how
only
that
heard
doesn't
the
kick
one
the ball.
audio back this season? There's two. Ours, the Arsenal one.
No, there's been quite a few.
Yeah,
they
The
did
other
that.
one's delay.
They did the
that
Monday
one.
night show. Didn't
There was-
they, where
there
they
was
were
Tottenham,
unpicking
Liverpool.
the
I have to
result.
say, Liverpool had a horrendous one against them before.
That makes a change.
This weekend.
No, before, and they got the audio
Well,
of
the
that
Tottenham
one.
one, wasn't it? The
Spurs one, yeah,
Yeah.
where I think they carried on the game, but he meant to give a pen, didn't he, or goal
Yeah,
or something?
That was right.
or off. Yeah,
It was the
the
offside,
kind of,
wasn't it?
I offside, and he went, "No, it's a goal," and he went, "Okay, it's offside."
That was the
And he's
one-
like, "No, it's not."
Was
Yeah.
that the one where he was going delay, and he had already give it.
It was stupid that, like.
yeah, there was like a breakdown
Yeah.
of communication, wasn't it?
But you know, it's a funny one, isn't it? I don't know. It's just a funny. I couldn't believe them decisions on Saturday. Like, and you know, I'm even going to mention the cup final, the semi-final there on the weekend. Like, that was an unbelievable game of football. Like,
Aye.
you know, for what it was, that was everything that the FA Cup should be. And Coventry, I felt were robbed there. Like, I just do. I just feel.
I don't get the angles, me. Like, so
Well, have you seen the clip? Have you seen the video where someone in the stands, the Man United fan that's took the clip, he's on the side, like, I'm telling
Have you
you now, man.
not seen on the
He's
lines?
the side.
They've drawn the lines, and the line goes over the player's foot.
I thought that as well, yeah. I'm never convinced with them. You know why I'm reading this seriously, right? The quality of the photograph, do you know what it's like? It's I know it's great quality, but it's still a bit blurry. Does that make sense? So your foot is a bit distorted.
So that's because the zoom
that
in
make
so
sense? Like,
far.
I
in,
just
aren't they,
feel
from
I don't.
still picture.
I'm gonna one thing I'm gonna show you this video, right? And I'm telling you, he's on
I'm not
side.
going to get your laptop back.
No. I'll show you on my phone. I'll show you. It's on the Chronicle's website, so it'll load up fine. But I just thought VAR there. I just thought, Jesus, like, you know, you're talking a toenail here, like.
Hmm.
and
What did I think
Did
you
you think
mentioned?
Grealish's handball wasn't handball?
No, it was.
It was 100%.
Yeah,
That's
that's
another
what
one. Yeah, that's
I
another
think
one.
he's a little bit
That's
because his arm's out and he's trying to pull it in to get away from the ball, but in doing so, handballs it.
Yeah.
But it's a handball for me, it should be a penalty.
I think so as
And
well.
I wanted Man City to win that as well.
How them didn't win Chelsea, by the way.
Jackson, the chances he
mate.
missed. He was
I've never
time and
seen
time
City,
again.
I've never seen City that open.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah,
except
loads, aye.
when we rinsed them that time at home. We drew, like, but we rinsed them for a long period.
I was going to move on to a different thing, but
Sorry.
just because Jules has mentioned it there, it's just said that the video of the fans, the Man United fans, trying to run back into Wembley.
I haven't seen it.
So Coventry obviously score the fourth, and that they just start flooding out at that point. Then when it gets disallowed, and when you can hear obviously the Man U fans celebrating at that point, honestly, there's just floods, hundreds trying to run back in to Wembley after the left. Obviously, they're not going to.
Well, I remember obviously when we played them last season in the cup final, they were all leaving before the trophy had even been presented and stuff like that.
right, yeah.
Because obviously we were going out,
I was passing on the way out.
and they
Yeah.
were piling out at the same time.
I saw a
It's
tweet.
awful,
I saw a
awful.
tweet today. It was a Man U fan that I follow on Twitter for some reason, and he was I can't remember why. He was saying it's different. But I've been to Wembley 22 times with Man U. It's different going there for your first time, never having done it before, and going as if to kind of justify that leaving the way they left and all that as being, oh, it's just not a game for us. Oh, you arrogant wanker! It's the worst. After the cup final last year, we were staying in Harrow, me and my mate Kieran, so we got the tube and went away from the city centre. So everyone else is going that way, and we are going like northwest a bit further. And like we were on the tube with these Man U fans, and I just stood there like, you know, I think I've made this comparison at a time. You ever seen The Graduate?
Yeah.
You know, at the end when they're on the bus, and I just
Yeah.
late, and it's like it was like that. It was like the end of The Graduate, and loads of Man U fans just stood like staring at their shoes on their
Yeah.
phones, like,
Just
that's even
another
won
day.
a cup. Like I can't imagine.
I'm sure we've had this conversation actually, Bessie, where we've said, really hope we don't become that, where
Oh yeah,
success becomes so normal that you get numb to it. Like,
I can't
I
imagine.
looked at Man City, it was half empty in the semi-final, whereas they
Yeah.
showed ours and it was, of course, full and etc. I hope you never get
But I think at times this season that's happened.
that.
Yeah, I agree.
at all.
And I
Yeah,
actually
Wembley,
agree with
the
you.
atmosphere at Wembley last year was shy for the most part, mind.
I do agree with you in terms of this season's been like that. Yeah.
But the arrogance
Yeah, it has
of the
been
cup, that leads us on to another subject. scrapping of FA Cup replays.
That was me next thing. So
Wow.
David Sharp has sent in saying thoughts on changes to the FA Cup. Look,
Horrendous.
we'll start with you, Mark. Obviously, you brought it up.
Absolutely horrendous. Like, I can understand the rationale of why they're wanting to do it, to protect the teams with the amount of games that they've got to play and stuff like that. But again, you're pandering to the top 6-8 clubs within the Premier League because they've got to play in Europe. They'll be, might be doing well in the FA Cup and the League Cup. You come down into the Championship. Look at how many games you play in the Championship every
46.
every game anyway, because of the amount of teams that are in there. So I can understand. But then when you start,
Well, League 1 and 2. Sorry, Mark. You've got the what's it called now? The Bristol Street Motors Trophy. Used to be the Johnson's Paint.
I used to play against them.
Pizza Trophy.
I did as well. You've got 46 games in the league. You've got League Cup starting from this. You've got the FA Cup starting from the first round. You've got this LDV Vans Bristol Street Motors Johnson Paints Trophy, which has got a group stage, and then so you don't play. They play far more games. Every one of them. This is mine.
Yeah.
Like it's only the top 6, 7, 8 in the Premier League because they don't play the first couple of rounds of the League Cup either.
Don't come out of the third round in the
FA Cup.
Yeah.
So it's
well. I think the biggest problem that I have with it, right, is I'll say a few things on. So I think, from a selfish point of view, I'm going to be very selfish for 1 second, then I'll say what I really think. But selfish for a second is, I agree with it in the sense of for us. So if I think of us and we're in Europe next season, I don't want to be playing Peterborough away in a replay. I don't want that. I don't want the extra game.
Easy to get to.
But that's selfish. Very, very selfish. Now, what really annoys me is that this has been done without their ask, question, say so, approval at all. That is completely wrong of what football is all about. And that Neville's mentioned it about you need a governing body. That's where it should go to a governing body where them,
make the decision.
You cannot just speak to the Premier League and the independent. Yeah. You cannot just speak to the Premier League and all of them. Obviously, even I know you've mentioned the top 6 going for Europe. The guys at the bottom of the league don't want to play replays because they just want to stay in the division. So all of the Premier League don't want replays, and I accept why. But the lower league clubs, them getting a replay back at home would be it's an amazing thing for them financially.
We played Stevenage in '98.
I remember we're playing them back at home.
They had to build a temporary stand.
That's right.
What's their ground called? Borough? I can't recall now. They built a temporary stand. They had the temporary sponsorship by the Sun, but they did. And they got the replays in St James's Park, so they and that set them up for a long time. My thing with the replays is I don't necessarily hate the idea of scrapping replays, but only if. So say it happened against Stevenage, got Newcastle. I know they've played them, telling them a year ago. They should get the choice of if we'd either play at home in the scrap replay, that's that, or we play at St James's Park. So they get the choice whether or not we come out the hat first or second.
So they get the choice.
They get the choice, and then if we play at St James's Park, they get a guaranteed 50% of the gate or something like that. Right. Because that financially, I mean, it does kind of take away the magic a little bit of getting the draw. Remember Wrexham v Arsenal when Mickey Thomas, I don't think it was replay actually, but like teams that have done it, I mean, the big one was Hereford in 73, I think it was, against us. So there's been games that have gone to replays that have been unbelievable, and it's been exciting because the lower team has punched above their weight and stuff.
But I think as well, even if you take the financial side out of it, it's the heritage of what the cup is. Yeah. It's what it's been all about for years, man. But
even then, like they brought the final to the weekend before the season finishes every year now from this agreement, which I don't like either, but they've done it before. I mean, the cup final, I was talking to
scrap the semi at Wembley, can I say as well?
I hate that as well.
What is that about, man?
The final now, 5:30 on a Saturday. Remember when it was 3 o'clock? I remember getting up, and this is like
a full show, didn't it?
It was the best.
You'd watch live and kick in. It would be cup final patter on the match of the day started at 12.
Watch the players, how they prepared for the day.
You'd see the bus coming.
You had Clayton Greavesy doing their special art. It was amazing. Cup final day was
unbelievable.
It was
a special occasion.
It was you look forward to it, and you sat all day and watched it. I remember one year, it was in '95 when Everton beat Man U 1-0 at half time. I made my dad drive to the. I wanted to rent a Mega Drive game, Sensible Soccer. So maybe my dad was.
Did you actually play it, or did you just change all the settings? And then...
That's just me.
One of the things with Sensible Soccer was you could put the proper kits on it. Well, not proper kits, but you could make an approximation.
But you're right, Bessie. FA Cup Day used to be like how the BBC and ITV portray likes of a royal family day. So if it's a royal family wedding or whatever it is, that's what FA Cup used to be like. Exactly.
It was massive, It was a huge.
I remember
the cup final suits.
What are they wearing? Our visits back in the day, obviously, I know we lost in the Man United one, sticks in Arsenal and that. And I remember Liverpool with them daft cream suits. Remember
96,
but I remember the whole build-up. I remember Chelsea, Di Matteo scored within a second or whatever. I remember that one. But as you say, it was like from 12 o'clock, you've seen the full 9
Full
yards,
build-up.
like all the way.
Yeah.
Did they still
But
put the
I
red
just
carpet
feel-
out for the players? I'm sure there used to be a red carpet.
Used to
Yeah,
be.
it did.
Used to be.
It's,
yeah.
Wembley's different now, though, because it used to come on the pitch from the end.
From the
Mm.
corner,
Whereas
wasn't it?
it's a halfway
Aye,
line now.
true, yeah, it's totally different. Yeah.
Because
But
it's
the
what like Brian Clough walking on
I
with.
cannot get the semis that
They've
plays.
done everyone, it, 'cause-
Semi-final should be played at a neutral ground between the two
100%.
clubs.
Well, it was always
100%.
when
It used to be, didn't it?
Old Trafford,
Old
Hillsborough,
Trafford,
Villa Park.
Yeah, we played Old Trafford, didn't we?
Yeah,
Twice.
but twice, I think,
Twice,
Tottenham,
yeah.
aye.
And it takes the complete and utter shine away, doesn't it, of what the final is?
Yeah.
Honestly, God,
It's been so devalued. I mean, you go back when Man U played in that World Cup tournament in 2000, that felt like the start of it.
Yeah. Can you remember Romario's turn on Gary Neville in that tournament?
No.
You've got to go and see it.
Aye.
It's one of the greatest. It's one of them where the ball's playing at Romario and he uses outside his foot to bend it round Neville.
Aye.
And then runs the other way.
Like Bergkamp.
Have it. Yeah, but
It
better.
was a fluke.
Aye.
But better, yeah. Honestly, you have to watch it. But
I think one of the things as well, if you're looking at it as a normal match going fan as well, is like, let's say Newcastle get the semi-final in FA Cup and you think, right, there's a trip to Wembley, right? A lot of people will be thinking, right, I've got to weigh up my options here. Either pay the money to go to the semi-final, make the weekend out of it then, or think, do we get through and hopefully I'll get a ticket to the final? Because a lot of people won't be able to afford both.
Well, I said to you at full time at Ewood Park, didn't I?
Aye.
So I hope we get knocked
I
out.
can't
I
afford it.
can't afford to go to Wembley twice.
no, it is a good point.
But if it wasn't a neutral ground, let's say if it's Newcastle Man U that get to a semi-final, so your neutral ground would be
Elland Road.
Where?
Elland Road, maybe.
Elland Road.
Yeah.
Thing is,
Aye.
there's that many. It's not back in the day. Hillsborough. I mean, obviously Hillsborough's not without its problems and history. Villa Park was a big and Old Trafford was, but now there's so many stadiums. Like I know Elland Road
good
holds
size.
40,000.
It
Stadium
do-
Light holds loads. We hold loads.
Even if they wanted to be arsey and say it has to be, you could play at the Spurs' ground, you could play at the West Ham ground.
Emirates,
If they were just being
yeah.
arsey, like I'm just saying, like
Get
there's
back to
plenty,
Cardiff.
there's loads of other options if you have to travel down there.
Yeah.
But when you play Wembley in the final, that's what it's all about.
They've all got there's loads of stadiums and cities now got the infrastructure that could easily put a semi-final on.
100%,
No problem at all.
100%.
And the fact that you've got to go to, like, if we played Sunderland, and we've both got to go, right, we've got to go to Holloway, doing to Wembley. Instead of Elland Road, would be
the trains
perfect.
would
Oh,
cost that weekend. Oof.
well, can you imagine walking out down Wembley Way, waiting for the tube, that backlog, like, I stood there for an hour. Imagine that
It'd
would
be hell on, wouldn't
it'd be murder. You'd have to,
Aye.
I don't know how they do it. How, when like Man U and Man City have played, because they'll do it again this year, or Liverpool ever, how on earth is that?
Aye, but the
Imagine
But all the
that.
Man United fans are coming from Houston.
yeah, true. And not Texas. But no, it's so strange. But I think back to the point, there's a good one. The replays, I think, is a disgrace, and the reason why I don't like it is the lower league teams didn't get a chance to up.
Yeah.
That's the problem with I've got.
That's
It's
the
not the
problem
end of
with
that, though, is
football
it?
in
It's not the
general.
end. Like all the statements at every single one of those clubs, some of the statements were fantastic. I think it might be Stevenage at that release one.
There's a few, yeah. I think
I'm
they
sure
were.
it was Stevenage, and theirs was fantastic.
Fleetwood was the
But who, like, honest to God, who at the top of the Premier League or the FA, sorry, whatever, is thought this is fine? We'll do this.
But
And
they
no
don't
one's going
care.
to say
They
anything.
don't care.
I know,
Thing
but
is,
They
'cause
don't
I
care
get the
about
money.
the football
It's-
pyramid. They
they've
care
got to
about
be-
themselves.
It's because
There's
they've extended
gotta
the
be
Champions
more
League now. I think it's 10 games in the
More
group stage
games
next
now, yeah.
season. So there's extra 4 games. So that's why. I mean, how many replays realistically do you get?
no, that's a good point. And I wanted to say this as well. Sorry, if a lower league club say they're playing at Anfield and they get extra, do you know what it is? It's probably the best chance to win on that day in that moment.
Yeah.
Because probably if they do play them again, they'll get beat. That's just my opinion on that one. But I do think financially and the experience of a Liverpool or ourselves going to a lower league was fantastic for their fans, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they almost could say to the other club, well, it's your fault for not beating them. And it's your fault for not beating them.
Do you think
Crack
the
on,
the
you know?
Premier League just got a bit too big for its boots now?
Oh,
A long time ago.
long time ago. And I think Neville,
Yeah.
It's happened in 1992.
he was spot on, to be fair, like about saying like it's just well, Mark said it as well, because they don't care about the rest. They don't give a
No,
shit.
no.
They don't
Well,
care.
the Super League thing
Yeah.
proved that.
I Neville said that as well. He said
That-
half of
that's
these
what-
wanted to do after the Super League, so
3 years ago.
we're bowing them again now. They don't
Yeah.
want replays. Yes, sir. We'll not have replays. It's wrong. Like it's wrong.
Nah,
man.
it is
It's
wrong.
wrong.
And then
Well,
let's
comes
just
down to money, doesn't
let's just look back. Like, was it last year, the year before, that a few of these clubs wanted to start a Super League themselves, and now we're giving them the.
He's just
I know, but like that's what I'm saying. But you're giving them the rights to then make that decision on the back of that. It's just it's not right. It's
shit,
not.
man.
It's even worse when they try to start
Like
Super
giving them a
League
vote.
few years ago.
And that's horrible. You know? It is horrible.
100%. Like,
Do you know what kit I would bring back?
you made the point about both of you did about we need to get that ombudsman put into place
Yeah.
to govern football because
Just make sure they're not a
This-
Luton fan.
Dan Ashworth.
Well, I read something to go about that for 1 second. I read something that Howard Webb got involved, and Clattenburg stood by his opinion again. And apparently, Clattenburg says before the game he told Howard Webb that this guy's a Luton fan, and Howard Webb didn't know. And he says, "Oh, I didn't know that." He says, "Well, he needs to be taken out of the firing line." But obviously, they didn't do that. And then look what's went happen. Now, of course, it might not be because he's a Luton fan, but as Mark said, it just gives you that finger to point, right?
I expect it'll have nothing to do, but it does. It leaves them open to.
You're putting the bullet in the gun there.
And ultimately, if it's, let's say it's nothing to do with a Luton fan, being a Luton fan, he needs to get a Specsavers, or something needs to happen, because that was diabolical for a professional at that level of job to see that and go, they're not penalties.
There's so many times it goes wrong with VAR. Like.
So many times. And I know you could say it's subjective, but how many times do you see an incident and the entire planet knows it is or perhaps isn't?
I think we were talking about this the other week, and we're saying like VAR is meant to stop this, or by the fact that we'll have this conversation every week about VAR proves that it's not working.
Because VAR, the actual technology, does stop it. The difference is it's still interpreted by a human being.
Yeah, well, the semi-automated offside thing from next season should hope, because that was I think that's what they had at the World Cup, and maybe
fantastic. It's
brilliant as well.
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. Why not lean on technology? I've got no problem leaning on it, but again, as you say, these grey areas of putting a Luton fan in the box there, it's not good. Like,
no,
it's no good. Like, you know what I mean? Imagine how Shearer on there if we're playing. Shearer get on that, mate. Bother.
You've got to,
everything's
got to see what the recording of the weekend is, because not just that game, all of the decisions that have happened across this weekend
the Luton
have to be pulled to pieces. Like,
you see,
Ravenelli shirts on his Luton shirt.
They actually young.
How ironic is it, like Chris said, that he's involved in all three of the decisions?
Given that he got the one at St James as well, and it's actually Young. Made a career out of it. He's Sweet the J. Actually Young's was putting some old school bangers on. It was Cry Me a River by Justin Timberlake. Sticking a boot in a bit sticking a boot in for the fourth time this weekend.
What a wanker.
He is like
I get the first two, are subjective, because you could say, is it a foul? Is it handball? But the third one is it beggars belief that he does not give that.
It's as clear as they come, that one. Like,
it's not the last one. Was the last audio release? But did it get released on Monday Night Football? Did they do a segment?
They did, yeah.
It's Michael Owen did a show with
Spit, please.
Howard
Spit
Webb,
when you say that.
And they pull it to pieces and question it, and he then gives his rehearsed answers.
I mean, Webb's that's why he's in that position, but obviously he has to come out and try and defend them. But
I think he's only said they've got one wrong on the show. That he's done. Aye. But that'll be the top and bottom of it. They'll come out and say, yeah, we made an error, we're sorry about that. It doesn't put the situation right.
Hashtag up the Loon.
But I mean, Forest have been hard done by it. Wolves had a
lot of clubs have. Wolves really did.
A lot of decisions going against them.
Just look at us in the bloody Champions League. Still not over that one.
Well. That was a real bad one. That. Yeah, that was shocking.
Oh well. Thanks everybody for joining me live this evening.
Football's fucked, isn't it?
It's in a bad place.
We're still here though.
I do think
so. There's over 1,000 people watching at the moment. So if you are watching on YouTube, just like the video, become a subscriber. It costs you nothing to do that. If you do want to become a member, it is just $2.99 a month to do that. You get access to more videos, early access to videos, access to the Telegram group. We'll be bringing more versus Dagger back in the next couple of weeks.
If you are watching on Twitter as well, go on to YouTube and like and subscribe the video on there, because that helps us out massively.
I haven't done this for a while.
What? Jump in.
The like and subscribe thing.
I called it Twitter.
Oh, you normally
called it X before.
If you are looking on Friends,
he normally calls it X, doesn't he? Him?
I've never called it X. Once. I called it once.
It had just changed to X, and you went. What's that? I've just seen on X. Blah, blah,
I think you did the hand symbol as well, like X Factor.
Having a go media week.
The DX videos.
Having had a go at media week. That TikTok or that you're whatever it is. I was on it the other day. Mark Walker's on TikTok.
Oh, you know why? You know why though?
There's a donut showing up.
You know why though? It's because everybody keeps sending links to TikTok, and I'm like, I can't watch it.
It's mad.
So I've had to download it so that I can watch things that people send us.
I still football quiz on there. It's quite good as a guy.
Is it good? I haven't got it. Like,
it depends on what you want. I get loads of ones where it's like, it gives you someone's Wikipedia history, guess a player. I'm like, you're just kind of like, it'll be something I've never heard of.
So I go
185 games rushed in Diamonds, 2006. I'm going, what the hell is this?
Mark just looks at that.
Can you send us who that is? I might follow that one. I've gone down a complete rabbit hole, and I've started watching a man that cleans cow's feet.
What?
He cleans cows' feet.
Hooves, Mark. I
It's
call hooves.
unbelievable. It's called the hoof doctor. It's the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Cows everywhere, like it's like
Cows,
size 9
he's got
brogues
this
on
like
them.
massive machine. He
Predators.
gets them in it, the crush thing, scoops its foot up so it goes like that. They've got 2 toes, and they've got like, he gets these knives and scrape. Honestly,
There are hooves
it's
on cows, aren't there?
amazing. Hooves, yeah.
Not feet.
It was funny because he said
Your
feet, and then
toes.
what's the guy's username?
The hoof doctor.
I thought it was something else
No,
there.
but yeah.
Could be, it's not like that.
Maybe it's something
The
else.
blue
Yes,
waffle,
they
that.
still have got feet. They've just got hooves on their feet.
You know, I was watching some of the other day, right?
And carpet cleaning.
Yes, that's it.
Carpet cleaning.
God,
That's
I
a
could
sad
watch
sight to
that
watch,
all
that,
day.
yeah.
Like, it's just amazing.
It's
isn't
when I
it?
think I don't, then I put
Proper
more shampoo and I'm going,
therapeutic,
oh, yeah, man.
Well, I know where we're going to end it.
Stuff
but
that comes up it.
There's something which I find quite satisfying as well. So I download this game for the bin, right? And it's power washing.
I love power washing. I went
greatest
power
thing in the
power
world.
washing videos, people cleaning like patios, and I did mine on
Mate,
YouTube.
you do this on a game?
I've got the game. I'm not even
Yeah.
watching anything.
Oh, I might have to download that.
Right.
Cleaning roofs. There's a one where he gets the moss off the roofs and power washes
Well,
the roofs.
this one, get the
Beautiful.
game because you can do parks, like play parks. You can do people's houses. You can do cars. Like, it's the best.
I've seen the ones with the unclogged
Amazing.
drains.
Oh, the make us a bit.
I've got a phobia of drains. Like drains.
Aye.
There's some of them where I'm like,
What's your thoughts on the
oh,
spot ones? Because, well, that's lots of spot
Awful.
videos.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not that kind of carry on.
Awful.
Like,
Amazing.
nah.
Outstanding. Now.
horrendous.
Horrible
Outstanding.
stuff that. Like,
But the hoof one,
Big boil on someone's back, and I like get in
I
there,
hate
finger
that,
in.
mate. I'm that cockney.
hoof ones, you get a bit like that because hooves. I've learned loads
Hoof
about
ones?
cows' feet. That the hoof
Apparently.
constantly grows and it can grow over something being stuck inside of it.
Like it's just
Like
the
it
same
might
with
stand
most
on a
animals.
stone
Yeah.
or like
Like
it
that
might
bike that
get
was left
punctured.
against a tree in World War II in Japan.
So they start scraping the top off it, and then they'll find this like
Like a
the damage inside,
Hot Wheels car or something like that.
and the hoof actually starts splitting, and then it'll get an infection inside of it. So they'll do it. They'll find a little hole, and then they press it. And oh,
So
awful.
we used to have Dr. Mark over here. We're now got veterinarian Mark. He's still
I'm telling you, get on the
Why
hoof
do you tell me
doctor.
run it off?
Class.
Just run it off.
I reckon I could become a hoof doctor after watching these videos the last couple of weeks.
But the only reason I downloaded TikTok was so you could look at some link.
This just shows you what a black hole it is that you go down for these things.
Oh, mine's all football.
Cleaning rugs and cows' feet.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Ta-ra.